What you are seeing on your screens is content shared and spread by fake pro-Israeli accounts targeting the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, Unrwa. A recent investigation by an Israeli disinformation watchdog, cited in Israeli newspaper Haaretz, has revealed that fake social media accounts have been disseminating and amplifying fabricated pro-Israel narratives to shape public opinion amid Tel Aviv's ongoing onslaught on Palestine's Gaza. At the helm are 3 news outlets that were specifically created for this disinformation campaign. According to online watchdog Fake Reporter, the objective of these 3 news portals was to echo the Israeli government's accusations of links between Unrwa and the Palestinian resistance group Hamas. Their targets? Mostly US Democratic senators. The goal? To bolster support for Israel and its war on Gaza among US politicians and the American public. On January 7th, an Israeli researcher told Israel's parliament, the Knesset, that Unrwa needed to be destroyed in order for Israel to win its war.
אי אפשר יהיה לנצח את המלחמה אם אנחנו לא נשמיד את אונר"א, וההשמדה הזו חייבת להתחיל מיד.
Soon after, Tel Aviv provided information to Unrwa about the alleged involvement of several Unrwa staffers, directly or indirectly, in Hamas's surprise attack on Israel on October 7th. These accusations, aided by a massive propaganda campaign, led many donor states, especially the US, to temporarily pause their funding for the aid agency. The move to defund Unrwa came at a time when Gaza was already on the brink of imminent famine, with 1.1 million, or half its population, facing catastrophic levels of hunger and starvation. In response to the allegations, Unrwa terminated the services of some of its employees on January 28th and announced an internal investigation into these allegations. 2 days later, a network of Israeli bots began their propaganda operation, bombarding the social media posts of several US Democratic lawmakers, with articles discrediting Unrwa and advocating for its closure. One that was widely circulated was a Wall Street Journal piece alleging ties between the UN agency and Hamas's October 7th attacks. But here's the thing, the WSJ article, co-authored by a former Israeli soldier, was based exclusively on unsubstantiated Israeli claims. Another interesting thing that Fake Reporter's analysis found was that the majority of the US Democrats targeted were African American. Experts say that this was a deliberate ploy to drive a wedge between Black Americans and their historical solidarity with the Palestinians. But that's a story for some other time. Experts also note that there are pro-Israeli influencer networks that operate as a disinformation army, in charge of amplifying content published by the 3 so-called news outlets, Unfold Magazine, Non-Agenda, and the Moral Alliance, churning out Israeli propaganda. Unfold Magazine brands itself as a premier source for news and stories from Israel, while Non-Agenda presents itself as a source of non-partisan Israeli news. However, both outlets emerged within days of each other in November 2023, just a month after Israel launched its brutal military offensive in Gaza. Then comes the Moral Alliance, which touts itself as a non-partisan organisation that celebrates Western morals, traditions, and a liberal way of life. Together, they boast over 44,000 followers across platforms like X, Instagram, and Facebook. However, most of these followers are not real. They have stolen pictures and fake names, like this one of a man supposedly named Kyle Torres. But the man in the photo is actually named Kyle Jean-Baptiste, a young actor who died in 2015. This deception is part of a larger Israeli PR operation called Hasbara, meaning explaining in Hebrew, that's devoted to shaping global public opinion, whitewashing Israel's image, and suppressing all negative commentary. Since Israel launched its war on Palestine's Gaza, social media has been awash with influencers promoting pro-Israeli narratives and demonizing Unrwa. Additionally, another Haaretz report in January revealed that Israel had acquired a technological system designed to execute extensive online influence campaigns. This system can automatically create content tailored to specific audiences and specific demographics to help Israel fight what it says is a pro-Palestinian narrative in the West. Unrwa has always been a sore spot for Israel. It was created in 1949 after more than 700,000 Palestinians were violently expelled from their homes by Zionist paramilitary groups in order to establish the State of Israel in 1948. UNRWA upholds the rights of Palestinian refugees to return to their land. Israel does not recognise this right, however. Instead, it seeks to permanently expel them to further expand its illegal occupation of Palestinian territories. Amid its war on Gaza, which has killed at least 31,000 Palestinians, mostly women and children, Israel is grappling with a credibility crisis. The United Nations has indicated that it has not received any substantial evidence from Israel to support its claims against UNRWA. In fact, the agency's spokesperson disclosed that staff members were subjected to torture while in Israeli custody and were coerced into making false confessions about the agency's ties to Hamas. But as Tel Aviv continues its massive assault on Gaza, which many experts have labelled extreme and genocidal, it will likely take Israel more than just disinformation campaigns to change global perception and convince the public it's the victim, even though it has killed thousands upon thousands of Palestinians in 6 months of relentless attacks.